Ladies and gentlemen, your Pickerington Central Marching Tigers. We now turn you back over to the voice of Pickerington music for 20 plus years, Mr. John Riddle.
All right, going to your button, please. Take your button. Remember, it's you got to see facing.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, let me remind you, though, that we are most fortunate to have not one but two excellent marching bands in Pickerington. There are many people who need to be thanked for making this event tonight possible. Thanks go out to not only the district administration, but to each school's administration, and to Dr. Perulakar, who took on the task of Chief Safety and Ticketing Officer for all of their time and their efforts. And a big thank you goes to you, community of Pickerington, for generously supporting our fundraising events. You might want to mark your calendars and save the date. On October the 24th, the bands will host another festival. On the 24th, that festival will be held at Tiger Stadium. During the festival, the senior band members of the Marching Tigers will be recognized. Tonight, in our post-festival show, the combined bands will open with a Stan's Tune favorite that dates back to the 1980s. Here is that Go-Go's hit number. It's a Stan's Tune favorite. We Got the Beat. For 150 years now, Americans have heard the somber 24 notes of taps. It's our national song of remembrance, and its call holds a special place in our American heritage. At summer camps, during basic training, at Memorial Day and Veterans Day services, and at all military funerals, it is the one piece of music easily recognized for its powerful and emotional message. From the beaches of Normandy, to the Punch Bowl in Hawaii, to the site of the World Trade Center in New York, to the lawn of the White House, to distant lands in the Middle East and in Arlington Cemetery, TAPS is the one call that unites all Americans in tribute, in honor, and in remembrance. In his Gettysburg Address, President Lincoln said, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here." It is for us the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom. A little over a week ago, both schools marked the 19th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on our nation. Shortly after those attacks, then President Bush said it's a memory of tragedy and shock, but not only of loss and mourning. It's also a memory of bravery and self-sacrifice and the love that lays down its life for a friend, even a friend whose name it never knew. We ask at this time that you please rise for a moment of silence as we pause to remember that in every American generation, there are those who gave, as President Lincoln said, the last full measure of devotion. We remember and honor the bravery and the sacrifice of our military, of our policemen, firemen, and citizen heroes from each generation. Thank you. And now we ask that you please remain standing as with music that has been performed around the world in times of conflict and in times of peace, we honor those who gave all for our freedom with a stirring rendition of Taps. Thank you. Please be seated. Longtime Pickerington band director Mike Sewell fully and firmly believed that music not only has the power to unite us all, but also the power to reach a place deep inside and move us forward. At one point in time, a student became very ill and was not responding to any external stimuli whatsoever. At last, his parents tried music, and he began to respond when he heard a recording of a band playing Amazing Grace. Bob Thurston had arranged it for a Florida State band, and Mike adapted it for Pickerington. As the years have passed, this number has become a tradition for contest warm-up, and when both Pickerington Central and Pickerington North bands are together, it has become a closing number, performed tonight by over 300 band members. To direct the combined bands in Amazing Grace this evening, we welcome to the podium Mr. Matt Guerreri, who is a Pickerington graduate and currently serves as a Pickerington North Assistant Director. Please enjoy Amazing Grace. As our time together comes to a close tonight, it's my privilege to thank you for coming to the band festival and to remind you about the opportunity to visit your band's social media for their fundraisers. When you leave tonight, we will begin under the direction of Dr. Parulakar with Section A. And as you go, we want you to take a souvenir of this evening with you. Please take the blue tape from your seat. I also need to remind you of the remaining socially distanced as you exit the stadium. And if you want something to go, don't forget the Band Boosters Krispy Kreme to go. Thank you again, and look for Dr. Parulakar as you exit. He will direct your section to go.